Hammer time, everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Shore Podcast. Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore Podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore Podcast starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Jersey Shore Podcast. My name is Damon Galdo. I am your host for tonight, and as I always am, I have great guests coming on, and this is brought to you by the great America's Pulse Network. I'm a little excited today, had a big win, and plus this is the 100th episode of the Jersey Shore S-U-R-E podcast, which is great, and then some great news today. So I just want to say tonight isn't just another episode. Tonight is a statement, because today in a courtroom in New Jersey, something happened that the political machine never thought would happen. We won. They tried to throw me off the ballot. They tried to bury this campaign before it even had a chance to speak to the people. They flooded the process with objections. They challenged the signatures. They leaned on every technicality they could find, but not because they believe in democracy, but because they're afraid of it. And today they lost. The same people who stand at rallies shouting "No Kings" are the same people who have built a political empire in South Jersey that answers to no one. Donald Norcross, that's right, I'm going to say his name again, Donald Norcross, stood in Camden preaching about power, about control and resisting authority. But let's be honest, who is the real king here? Who is the real king? Is it a president with term limits, or a career politician who has sat in power for years, backed by a machine that tries to decide who is allowed to run and who is not? There's no term limits in Congress. They tried to decide for you. They tried to say your voice does not matter. Your choice does not matter. Your vote does not matter. But today, the court said otherwise. Today, the people won. And I want to be very clear about something. This victory did not happen because of me alone. This was a team effort, a fight that went on all weekend long, a fight that required sacrifice, focus, and relentless determination. I want to give a special thanks to everyone that helped me. To you, Adam Wingate, Steve Paccardooney, Kimberly Stewart, Jack Brangan, who is guest going to be on tonight, my former co-host, Jennifer Sharman, and Dave Cantera, who was a notary that helped me. He was like a mobile notary all weekend. I couldn't appreciate it more. These are people who gave up their entire weekend, who stood in the trenches, who helped defend every signature, every page, every part of this petition while I was out driving across counties getting affidavits notarized. Turns out I didn't really need them because it was BS for everything they tried to challenge. But this is what real support looks like. This is what fighting for something bigger than yourself looks like. I mean, they thought they could overwhelm us. They thought they could outmaneuver us. They thought they could quietly remove this campaign and no one would notice. But we noticed, and we fought back. And now I'm still on the ballot. So let this be a message, not just to the political leaders out there, not just to the machine, but to every single person listening tonight. Your voice matters. Your vote still matters. And no matter how powerful they think they are, no matter how long they've been in control, no matter how many doors they try to close, this country does not belong to them. It belongs to you. The king was slain today, and this fight is just getting started. So I went right to my monologue. I was just going to do breaking news, so I'm going to put it up there. We'll do breaking news right here. And here's the breaking news from the Jersey Globe, who are very liberal. And so we'll put this. So they wrote this article about me that I made it on the ballot. And the person that wrote it is somebody that was against me from the beginning, because he said on his podcast they were going to wipe out my petition. He was actually in court today as well. David Wildstein. I don't know what his problem is. I never met the guy before, but hey, I guess he wanted me off the ballot. Maybe he's in Norcross's pocket, just like a lot of people are. So David Wildstein you're going to get loser of the week next week. I'll tell you that. So anyway, so let's go to bring on our guests. There we go. We have Frank there, Frank C. Frank's underage. He still says his name on there, but I leave it that way because he's the smartest 50-year-old kid I ever met, and so is Engels Blanco. I wish I could have had him on too, but we had other people on, but I'll have one next week. Engels is also awesome.
Damon, congratulations on beating Norcross. This is the first step on taking down the king of the Camden County machine.
Thank you. So one small step for man, but that's it. So, all right, let's get the next guest on. Coming in from the green room, Jack Brangan. Jack was there today. Jack, thank you very much for all of your help and helping me out getting petitions signed and everything.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Our victories are going to be by inches, not by big battles, by inches. And today they hired a law firm to knock you out, and we knocked them out. And it really did take a team to do it, and the team is going to get you in. You better get your pick out a spot in Washington.
I'm not there yet, so but I'm celebrating the win today. That's all. All right,
I'm confident.
Well, this is in Vegas. I didn't come to lose. I'm confident I'm going to win as well, but it's great news. So let's bring on our next guest. Here we have Blake Magri, first time debut on the Jersey Shore podcast. My man, Blake. So how you doing tonight, Blake?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, and I can tell you right now that this is a moment in time that is District 1 democracy is back. We are finally going to take this to Congress. And Damon, I am so grateful that you had me on tonight, and you did fantastic up to this point, and I can't wait for you guys to succeed in this campaign.
Thank you very much. All right, let's bring on the next guest here. That's it? No Justin. No, Justin's not making it. Okay, well, Justin Murphy, he might be a little bit late. He's running for U.S. Senate in New Jersey. So Justin comes on, we'll bring him on. So, all right, so we're going to take a real small.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started.
All right, this segment, Hammer One, actually, as we call it, Hammer segment. And Blake, I was on the podcast before. It was Seth, my boy Seth. And hopefully, Seth, I hope you're doing well. I know he's ill again and had to get some surgery done, but he always calls me the Hammer, so it's a long-standing joke. But that's what it's about. So anyone that's watching right now, you can go into the chat and we can see any questions or statements you want to make and put it out there. And if it's worth it and nothing too negative, we'll put it up on the screen and we'll talk about it. But this is segment is called "The Machine Took a Shot and Lost," and I call it the South Jersey Machine. The Norcrosses, they own everything. They own Camden. I mean, the family has been indicted like 3 times, but they got away with it. So look at Camden, and they pride themselves on helping Camden out all the time. Well, Camden looks the same as it did, 60 years ago. Everyone's been trying to fix up Camden for years, and it's always led by corruption. Now, I'm not accusing them of corruption. I'm just saying they were indicted and they beat it. But there was other corrupt, like mayors, they even made movies about it. So the Camden still looks the same. So I don't know what they're doing for Camden. They can pride themselves all they want on it, but they're not doing the damn thing. So Jack, I'll go to you first. So
yeah,
if you want to start about the court hearing today and mention it because it's a matter of public knowledge, and they even had the media there in the Jersey Globe.
Yeah, I mean, we should make sure that everybody understands here when we talk about kings. It's the unelected George Norcross who is behind all this, behind Donald and Lou Greenwald. This is the gang that is closest to George Norcross. And this is the gang that we have to take down and put aside. And up first here, will be your seat. And then the November after midterms, both the New Jersey Senate and the New Jersey Assembly, all the seats are up for election. Every single seat in those two houses. And New Jersey has a wonderful opportunity to correct all past sins at that time. So I think the future is very bright. And today, today no one likes to be in court. No one likes to be in front of a judge, even though it was a Zoom call. It still had the same pressure as being in court. And, when we testified, we still had to raise our right hand and swear an oath and all that sort of thing. So, it was not a cakewalk. It was tough. And they did go name by name by name. And the other player in the court proceeding today was the member of the New Jersey Board of Elections. And he sat there and shared his screen, and every name that came up, he did a query into the voter registration database to confirm that this person was a Republican and was in CD1. Every single person was checked. And some people were not. I mean, some people thought they were Republican and they were registered as a Democrat or a Libertarian, or, they never changed their registration. And, if they're Libertarian, they're out. They got crossed off. So there was, every stone was turned over. It was very meticulous. I have to hand it to the judge. She went through every name, and she made a court decision after every name as, valid or invalid. So it was a good win because, it was not a flimsy court proceeding. It was very, very thorough, and we won fair and square. That's, the bottom line. So, it was good.
It was. Blake, I'll go to you on this one too, because when we started, we had to fight the Supreme Court case that unaffiliated people are allowed to sign. So the Republican or unaffiliated. They tried to fight that a little bit, but the judge, I don't even think she counted them, because we got to 508, and we still had more signatures to go through, and she didn't even rule on the unaffiliated, but she did agree, and so did the other, our opponents did agree to it too. So, like, they were trying anything they could possibly do, like to remove me from the ballot.
And Damon, if I can hop in, weren't they even scrutinizing some of the cop names that you were able to get on the ballot? And you had to actually cite law to the attorney.
Yes.
They may or may not have been privy to, unless you brought it up.
Yeah, well, no, I brought it up. I said they were covered under Daniel's law, and that's why their address wasn't shown. And I even had to go have them sign affidavits. That's why I thank Dave Cantera. He was like my mobile notary, driving from county to county, and he got these police officers to sign and say, no, well, we're covered under Daniel's law. We don't have to list our address. So they went after everything, Blake. So we're good.
Yeah. You did your homework on it. They didn't expect that, I mean, they're up for a battle that they're not ready for. They're just not ready for the battle. They're not ready for what's ahead. And it's just fantastic. I mean, you got your signatures, you're on the ballot. I mean, I know that there were reservations like when this first happened, but I knew you were going to overcome this within a day, and I knew it happened. I knew I couldn't wait for it to happen. And when it finally came to fruition, they lost. They brought, as Jack said, they brought their attorney to fight you legally, and they were legally wrong.
Yeah.
You were legally in the right.
Yeah. So, and Frank, I'll go to you next. I mean, you helped Jack Chitterelli knock on doors and stuff like that, and you want to be involved, in campaign. You have your parents take you to every event and all that stuff. And for a 15-year-old, it's astonishing, how involved you are, and you're very impressive. But what are your thoughts on all this? Because I know you were worried I was going to get tossed off the ballot. You're like, oh man, we've got to count every signature and all this stuff. So,
well, this was a big defeat for Norcross today. Massive victory for us. And I'd like to see this victory go into November. and we're going to get you elected to Congress.
Well, I surely hope so. I'm going to fight like hell. That's all I know. And you know what? The hardest part is, and I thank everybody for helping me out. You guys give me advice. You help me out with different things. I have a full-time job. I have 2 young kids. I try to make it to every single game in practice. I have the podcast, as you know, obviously, and and then running a congressional campaign, and then they try to get me off the ballot even before it starts. I mean, that's such a dirty game. So,
well, it should be a lesson to all of us. When you go around with these signature sheets, you can tend to be a little non-attentive or a little sloppy. But this is a lesson here. You cannot afford to be sloppy going forward. When you have a signature sheet, even if it's your own, when you guys run in the future, you got to make sure that these people are Republicans, that they live at that address where they're signing, and reconfirm they're Republicans and not, libertarian or something. So, it's a legal document. That's really what it boils down to. So,
yeah, I just want to say I see Steve Packarduni, who was tremendous in helping me out. He was looking up. He went through every single signature, and he's like, "They're valid. They're valid. They're valid. I'll go here and get the." If somebody just moved recently and it wasn't updated in the database because they didn't change their license yet, say they moved it a couple months ago, we were finding them all. And so, if you want to, producer, we want to put his comment up there. Steve was the man helping out, along with everyone else that I mentioned as well, with Adam and Kimberly, everyone that helped out. It was amazing. It was good. It was a team effort, and everyone got together. And honestly, I'm not used to that. The blame. Yep. I'm not used to it. But I mean, at my work, yeah, we have a team. But when I first got into this and started getting into politics, I didn't know anybody. I didn't. That's now went up meeting Jack, and then went up meeting you, and Frank just recently, and everyone else, even Steve, and everyone else.
It's just democracy is back on the ballot in District 1 in New Jersey. It all starts here. We have a wall to tear down, and the Norcross wall is it. It takes a certain amount of crazy to do it. And Damon, you have what it takes to do it. You have all of our support. We're here for it. Use this win, to really get you motivated, and this should absolutely motivate you to continue. And they're more frightened than they're ever going to put on. And they're going to try any kind of tactic they can, but you're just going to meet them every step of the way, and you're just going to be ahead of them 10 steps ahead of the game.
So Blake, can I steal that? Democracy was back on the ballot in CD1.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you credit.
It's as factual as it is a slogan. I mean, you're Damon, you're making slogans work, and this is good stuff. This could be on a T-shirt.
Yeah. So, well, Jack, what did you say earlier? It was coming from the party that claims that they're protecting democracy or something like that. I forget exactly how you put it.
I don't remember that one.
What's that?
I probably stole it from someone, but no, I don't remember what I said.
Yeah, it was something about this is coming from the party that claims they're protecting democracy, and then they're trying to remove it and get me off the ballot. He said something.
I mean, look, they're the party of open borders. They're the party of fentanyl. They're the party of poverty. They're poverty or the party of no school choice. They are the party of pornography in schools, the party of transgenderism in schools, all of that. They are the enemy within. That's all I can say. I'm a former Democrat years ago. I go way back farther than you guys, and I do remember John F. Kennedy as a Democrat, and we were all Democrats back then. But what this party today is, it's bordering on a terrorist organization. The party of BLM, George Floyd riots. Look at the cities that they rule over. They've carved out a third world, within the borders of the United States. With Chicago, Oakland. And I really feel, in this last election with Chitterelli, the biggest losers were the communities in Newark and Camden, because the Democratic Party is also the party of no school choice. And Jack Chitterelli, he was not the perfect candidate, but he walked into Camden and said, you can send your kid anywhere and the money's going to follow the kid.
That's right.
This should have been, sold the deal for Camden. Same thing with Newark. This was school choice for the very first time. That meant, in our area here, a family in Camden could send their kid to St. Joe's Prep and have that money go to them, or even up to Lawrenceville. If it wouldn't cover everything, but the doors were wide open for the parents in Camden, and they voted for Democrats.
I know.
There is no future for Camden. There's no future in the state for Democrats.
I know. I'm going to say, I want to put Steve's comment up again. He said the Dems are against voter ID, but
voter ID.
Yeah, he said, boy, there it is. And concerned with exact voter information.
And also, they would doubt the veracity of the age of somebody who's on the petition. Yet aren't they the party that wants 16-year-olds to vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the irony is rich. I mean, how these people operate. It's just like, as a voter, as just a regular, ordinary person, I'm not up here with a suit. I don't have a suit and tie on, and that's only because I'm not trying to put on airs about who I am. I don't act like a lawyer. I'm just a voter. And from a voter standpoint, seeing the corruption that's going on is just, it's really ridiculous. And the fact that, Damon, they would try to get you off the ballot like that is just, it's ridiculous. So the more and more people can see that, the better. I mean, see the ridiculousness of what's going on. We don't have to accept this.
No.
As voters in New Jersey, we don't have to accept this. I mean, these people are in there for their entire lives, and they're career politicians. Who wants a career politician? Does anybody really want that? Anyway, I yield back.
So, and the thing is, too, Frank, I know you went to one event with me, and they were like, oh, well, we need your ID. You're like, I'm 15.
Yeah.
But,
I have to get my debit card.
Yeah, but just think about it. I mean, we're trying to get the SAVE Act passed, and even in this case, when they were questioning, how do we know that you circulated your petition? Jack circulated his petition for me, and Jennifer, same thing for me. I said, because it was notarized. You need an ID to get it notarized. So what about the hypocrisy there? You can't submit a petition without ID, but you don't need it to vote.
Well, it's funny, when I took my college placement test, they wanted 2 forms of photo ID for me to take the placement test, but you can go and vote without any ID.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
That's crazy.
Hypocrisy is horrible. But so we're only doing 2 segments. Is like, because I didn't have time to prep for the show. I didn't think I really needed to so much, because I knew what I was going to be talking about. But so we're going to take like a mid break in this in this segment, and we'll come right back.
Sounds good.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's informative, and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media, just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
And I still have to thank Jeff Andrew for that plug. He was kind enough to come on. 32-minute interview. I thought he was going to come on for 5-10 minutes like he does on Fox, but it was great. It was a great interview with Jeff, and he's running again as well in District 2. So what says peace through strength on the bottom there? That was from an old episode. So we're not. It's just like well, we can leave it there because peace through strength. That's fine. This is like part 2 of the first segment. So
you should send the news article to Jeff Andrew.
So
That news article from the NewJersey.com or wherever it was.
Well, actually, I'm sure he saw it already because Ron Feinman.
Okay.
Actually commented on it. So
Okay.
I'm sure he saw it. I will send it to him again anyway. But no, it was a really rough time, and yeah, I guess we'll just go into segment 2 here because that's 100 and not stopping. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. But yeah, it was rough. I mean, and it's like, I don't know. Like you said, democracy is back on the ballot or whatever because I'm on the ballot. I don't know. I'm lost for words, honestly, because at this point, I'm just happy that one. I didn't think I was going to, because going up against the Norcross machine, I mean, they have a lot of influence, a lot, and I've seen it in the past, and I've never seen them challenge anyone else's petition before. Not Norcross.
And frankly, they're not prepared for it. They're really not prepared for the storm that we can bring. I mean, this is a red wave. Red waves happen. Amazing things happen in this state. Even though I don't want to talk about Chris Christie now because we don't really like him, but there was a time in the country when, when he was running and I was campaigning for him way back then when, I was a young guy and I was campaigning. It was a magical time in the state. We flipped the state red. It was an amazing thing. The same thing is happening here in District 1. I mean, it's so possible. Like I said, and Damon, we've talked about this many times. Free country doesn't mean there's not going to be obstacles. It's the freedom to overcome those obstacles. And you really have an opportunity to do that. You get enough of us on board and you have that passion and you have the drive. And I see that. And that's somebody I want to get behind. I want to get behind someone like Damon Galdo, who's going to take it to the next level and who's going to really advance our values, what we want to do in New Jersey, property taxes, everything right down to school choice. And this is why we're here. This is why we show up.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, and frankly, everybody who votes Republican in the state of New Jersey should be paying attention because this is a storm that we're willing to bring.
So, yeah. And everyone, thank you for your comments so far. I mean, I see Sandra Leanne, I'm talking about the SAVE Act being passed. Hopefully it does get passed. We need that. And Larry Krasner said, good win. Looks like you have a good team with you. He said Blake keeps speaking facts. So there you go, Blake. You got a plug there. So you're speaking some good facts. But Jack, I'll go back to you. When I lost the primary last time, I didn't have the county line. That's when it still existed in New Jersey. So
right.
My main thing, and I said this many times before in the podcast, is that I thought maybe media is more powerful than politics. You guys watch mainstream media, they control people's throats. They lie about Trump. They lie about Republicans. They call people Nazis, and they're
Mikey Sherrill lied about the 10% sales tax that supposedly Jack was going to increase the sales tax. That was a blatant lie. And this affordability crap, she doesn't even know how to spell it, let alone institute it. So yeah, so you cannot ignore the press.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. Everyone comes home and they watch, get home from work, watch TV. Especially people that have a family and eat dinner and then watch some TV. That's basically what everyone does. So and they'll watch a show and they'll listen to them saying Trump is Hitler and Trump is a fascist and Elon Musk is whatever they say, but they get away with it. So that's why I started this network and started my podcast on it, and now you have your new podcast on it. You want to give that a plug real quick?
Yeah. This is New Jersey State House Watch. I'm on with Constance Ditzel, and we're on the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. And so far, we started with Paul Kanitra, and we had him a couple weeks back, and we talked about the sanctuary bills that were on. And last week we talked about with Sean Hyland about some of the abortion bills that are coming up. And in 2 weeks we have Melanie Dragone, and we're going to be talking about vaccines, big changes in New Jersey with regard to vaccines, and the fact that New Jersey is sort of out on its own now. They're no longer going to be following the CDC, which is a huge change in procedure. And Melanie is from New Jersey 5-Pack. All they do is think about vaccines and good health for everyone, Democrats and Republicans. They're nonpartisan. So our podcast is going to be focused on the State House, and our goal is to get guests on that are subject matter experts. That
Right.
So that's the goal. We're going to try to get budget people on, and assembly people, the New Jersey Senate folks. That's all that sort of level that we're shooting for.
And this is all under the great America's Pulse Network.
That's right.
That Jack just joined, and I'll go to you. I will say one thing. I want to go to you, Frank. Jack, when you talk about vaccines and everything else, just be careful what you say, because there's certain media, social media platforms that are covered under Section 230, but they will knock us off. We were bumped from YouTube because we talked about vitamin B17 and apricot seeds. We had somebody on, it's a nutritional guy, and said there were studies out there that could help prevent cancer, and YouTube bumped us for like 2 weeks just because of that. So Frank, I'll go to you. I don't know if you're familiar with Section 230. Section 230 protects social media platforms, basically saying that they're not responsible for what anyone says on there. So they're not like a regular news outlet like CNN or NBC or whatever it may be. That if somebody on there says something, they can get sued for defamation or things like that. So basically, with social media platforms like YouTube and any other ones that are out there, the Section 230 protects them from being sued. If say I said something on here that they didn't agree with, and they can't get sued for it, even though I'm airing on their platform. But they still have the ability to remove you and block you for something that they don't want you to say. So I say you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're going to let people talk about apricot seeds and vitamin B17 and not take them down, or you get rid of Section 230. That's why I told my platform, my website. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I don't think they should be taking you down for that and banning you, because that's your opinion and you were showing studies. And I don't think they should be controlling our voices like that. It's not like you were saying anything bad. You were just showing facts and evidence. So I believe they're silencing you, and they should not be doing that.
Yeah. So Blake, what do you think about that? Because like I said, they can't have their cake and eat it too. If you're going to be protected under that law, then you can't control what people are allowed to say. The whole thing is, if you have no control of what they say, that's why you can't get sued. But then you want to control what people say and take them down.
Yeah, it's a lame legal technicality. So lame. I mean, they're picking apart nonsense, and it's really, it's obvious to everybody listening here that this is all about censorship. This is just, taking away the opposition opinion. I mean, we're coming off of the heels of COVID, where, for the last 3 or 4 years, you have people wearing masks, and you have the CDC and Anthony Fauci, all those, people in the White House at the time telling us what to do, and then turning around and saying, oh, no, you don't need masks, and then you do need masks. It's like the same nonsense where they're going to take you down for something that you're going to say, but they're willing to be wrong on all sorts of scientific matters when it comes to vaccines and elsewhere. It's just it's so ridiculous. We're dealing with this censorship in District 1. They had the national media censoring our opinions nationwide. And you're just seeing this is a microcosm of such a much larger problem. And we just have to prevent that from happening. We need voters to vote. We have to vote to stop these people from censorship. Everybody should be heard.
Right. Plus, they had Facebook and Twitter in their back pocket. So they had, as well as the Main Street media, they had all communication channels back then in their back pocket. And it was really not only destruction of freedom, but medical freedom, where, families always should have the right to make the decision, their own medical decisions about what's best, for themselves and their family. And that was all taken away. And not only that, people, if you didn't get the jab, you lost your job,
Yeah.
Their livelihood. So Boy, talking about who's the kings here, they really put a wet blanket on the whole country. Very dangerous, and thank God for the Second Amendment.
Does anyone else remember when Tim Walz deployed the National Guard to the streets of Minnesota to make sure people were staying in their houses?
Yeah,
It's incredible. Yeah.
we can never give up the Second Amendment just for that reason, just for people like Biden, and it was a nightmare. It really was.
More and more, we look to that Second Amendment. We're like, we're getting cornered here.
Yeah.
We have to fight back. We shouldn't have to rely on the Second Amendment. We really should have the voters going out and turning out the votes, and that's the important thing. We can't forget democracy. And tonight we're in a good spirit of realizing that while that's at stake still in the state of New Jersey, District 1 finally got our win tonight. We are on the ballot. This is exciting. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so no more than I am. So I didn't know how it was going to go down. I knew I had the signatures, and when they said they were going to strike like 80 off, that they counted only 80. I'm like, there's no way that there's going to be 80. And like I said, I didn't even have to submit those affidavits that I drove all around for. And then we weren't even done with the signatures. And then the judges were like, we're at 508. So we're not going to go any further. And I don't know. I think Norcross's lawyer either got fired or he got demoted or something, because he looked very upset when he had to concede to it. So, Mr. Watkins,
right.
Sorry, should have picked a different battle. So I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so anyway, so this Hammer thing, it says 100 and not stopping. This is the 100th episode of the Jersey Shore SURE podcast. So King couldn't come on a better day.
Yeah. That's a milestone.
Yeah. I mean, I had podcasts before on the network, but this is under APN that we all started. Our great producer, his name is Damon, too, the man behind the curtain, and the other two founders, Alexandra and Seth. 100 and still going. So it's a milestone. So it's great, and then like I said, couldn't happen on a better day.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But so I don't know. DW, I don't know if we're going to take another quick break and come back and do finish the rest. I don't know if you had another break to cut in, but if you do, then we'll cut it in real quick.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangan and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Join the revolution, because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
All right, guys. We'll get talking a little bit more before we wrap up the show. But I just wanted to promote this. This is the Pennies in Action. Showers Hope. It's April 18th. It's in Malvern, PA. This is a very important thing. They've raised a lot of money for cancer treatments, and it's dendritic cell immunotherapy. And it's not anything. Oh, my wife just joined me, so so, but it's just the trial stages of it right now. So it's not approved, but Trump has the right to try. So my sister, stage 4 breast cancer. I happened to run into this because my good friend Steve DiOrio invited me to one, and I videoed the doctor giving the speech and saying that he actually was curing stage 4 breast cancer, which was never done before. I'll do this, and that's where she was, and it is working for her, which is amazing. So there's an event coming up right there. Was the April 18th. It's in Malvern, PA. We do have another one coming up in Vineland for the New Jersey listeners if you only go to PA. But it's a very important thing, so you guys should look into it. Anybody that has any kind of cancer out there, look into this because it's amazing. I can't believe the results of it. So I'll go back to you guys real quick. And Jack, I know you want to talk about Jersey State Watch again.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know what's coming down the line here. As I mentioned, April 14th, Melanie Dragone, she's New Jersey Public Health Innovation. That's the discussion of vaccines. April 28th is Dawn Fantasia. Anybody that's been watching the State House at all knows who Dawn is, and she's one of our great fighters, for the cause here. And we're talking to Senator Bucco. We're trying to nail him down for a date. Brian Bergen, hopefully we're going to have a date for him in the next week or two. Chloe Cole is another one that we have her address, and we're sort of doing a back and phone tag with Chloe's brother who does all the booking for her. So we're excited about what's coming down the road, and hopefully after a couple of weeks, we'll start having all you guys on, all of the candidates after the primaries, and we find out who survives everything. We want to have all the candidates on, and we'll go for there, roll into the election.
So,
and Damon, you thanked everybody except the most important person right over your right hand shoulder with this. Who was with you the whole way. We weren't there all the time, but she was.
Yeah, she definitely has been. She's been in my corner the entire time. You know what? I'm going to be honest, and my team would probably get mad at me. I was really trying to build this network, and I didn't plan on running in 26. I was maybe looking at 28 until I was asked to run. And I came home, and she said, "What was that meeting about?" And I told her that it was talked about. They wanted me to run. And I said, but I won't do it if you don't want me to. I said, I know how hard it is when the family, because it's not just me running. She's running, my kids are running. They're all on the ballot because it takes up a lot of my time. So I said, I won't do it if you don't want me to. And then she's got the mouth of a truck driver, so she starts cursing me out. And I'm like, what? I said, I won't do it. And she's like, are you kidding me? You've been fighting for support for years, and they're telling you they're going to try to give it to you, and you're not going to do it. I said, oh, I didn't expect that response. So back in the game, and still fight the whole time, with the whole town and the, petitions and all that stuff, trying to get me off the ballot. But we're fighters, and we're going to keep going. So Blake, thank you very much for coming on. Any last thoughts you got?
Well, I could certainly say I'll be on again at some point in time, no doubt. I'm just so excited. I could not miss tonight. This was a huge success for the campaign overall. History will decide that. You have a lot going for you right now. All hands on deck. Everybody who's listening in District 1, get out the vote. Get people excited. This is an exciting time. We have a lot to do here. We have a lot of time between now and the general election to really get this thing hammered home. So it's going to take everybody's support. But Damon is the way to go. We have District 1. We just need everybody's support. That will be my slogan to the end of time.
And I see Blake, there's another Blake Shebashevsky. I think I'm the only one that can pronounce his name. It says, let's go, Damon. Thank you, Blake. I appreciate that for being behind me. And then Frank, your last thoughts?
Well, I'd like to thank you for for inviting me on tonight, and congratulations on beating Norcross in court today. And I want to give a shout out to Justin Murphy for U.S. Senate, Catherine Falcone, Barb McCormick, and Martino Carrier, who's running for our Gloucester County Commissioner. So vote on June 2nd in our primary.
Yeah, Martino reached out to me today, and he congratulated me for the win. So Blake can't wait to vote. I don't know who that is, D, but thank you for that comment. So, all right. So from here, I just want to say, everyone, now that I beat the machine in court today with the petition, now he's going to come at me with money. He's got $2.3 million in his coffers. So I always hate to ask people this, but hey, I don't need it. He's going to come at me hard. And you go to vote DamonGaldo.com. You can click on the donate button, please. You'll see what I'm about. You'll see my platform. Jack just helped me out with getting apparel set up. So we have a couple of things that are there, some shirts and hoodies and hats are going to be coming on soon. And that small proceeds of that, it'll take you to a different website, Printify, but my website will still be up. Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what the case is. And then the small portion of it will go into my campaign. So there we have that there too. But if you want to just donate up front, just click on the antidote button and take you right there. But I'm going to need it going up against Norcross. So, and I just want to say, I used to have this trophy, the Steve the Tank Cush Award for Loser of the Week. So Donald Norcross, you get the Loser of the Week award right here. So
He earned it.
so, and anything?
Oh, well, my thing was, Frank's on here, so I don't want to say any too bad words, but I say F Donald Norcross, F George Norcross, F Philip Norcross, and in fact, anybody with the last name Norcross. That's my message. What they've done and what they put us through, and just like from last week on, and just kept mentioning, the Globe keep mentioning that the petition that Damon was going to get thrown off the ballot, and Donald's ego to think he was just going to walk through. I mean, to really think his ego. Just walk through November, and here he sits on his, another 2 years of ruining our district. It's disgusting.
It's a woman scorned right there. That's why
the Globe really aggravated me, and I'm going to tell you one thing. I had to listen to their live. It was very painful, by the way, too.
And Blake, I think I'm going to use Heather's slogan. F Norcross.
That's why I say yes. That's why I say yes, dear, all the time.
I like hers better.
So so David Wildstein, you get this too. Joey Fox, you get this as well. So
to keep speaking it into existence of his petition getting,
So, but thank you guys for coming on. You can stay tuned for the rest. I'm just going to go through the candidates real quick, and then we're going to do the outro. But you guys can stay on if you'd like. We'll talk afterwards. So that's rolling to the candidates. Nope, he's starting on 12. Okay, no, he's usually last because he's 12. So we're going to bring on the man who couldn't make it tonight. Unfortunately, Justin got stuck somewhere. So it's Justin Murphy right there, running for U.S. Senate. So Justin is the man. He's an awesome guy. It sucks he couldn't make it on tonight because he got stuck in another event. So next, this one's a big one. Oh, who is that? Damon Galdo for Congress. So actually, that's, I would say, the most important one I'm going to go through. I don't want to take anything away from anybody else, but District 1 out there, go to DamonGaldo.com. Then we have Jeff Van Drew, great guy. So District 2, so Jeff is awesome. If you live in District 2, go for Jeff. Then we'll go to Cohen, my man Cohen. He's been texting me back and forth all day, finding out how the court case was and everything else. And he was excited that I beat it. He's been behind me. He has some primary people too, and a friend of mine as well. So it's a tough thing because I know the other one's behind me too, but I already made a decision with Jason before I knew he was running. But Jason is out there and doing his thing. So he's the man. So then we have Chris Smith. There were some rumors that Chris didn't get enough signatures. I saw it circulating on social media, but he's on the ballot. So Chris Smith, and we have Hillary Herzig. I love her. She's a beast. I was talking to her in Trenton, and we had some Zoom calls together. She's awesome. So check out her website, see what she's about. We have Tom King Jr. So he's running again. Even though he's incumbent, I think he's going to have still like a tough shot. So we got to get out there to vote. So just everybody, for any candidate that I'm going to show here, get out and vote for him if you're in that district. So let's go next. Tiffany Burris. Tiffany Burris is awesome. I've spoken to her quite a few times. So you can go on her website as well, see what she's about. She's in a fight as well. We all are. So the next one. Carmen Bucco. Jack, didn't you say he was going to be on your podcast?
Anthony Bucco.
Oh, Anthony Bucco. Oh, I'm sorry.
Are they related?
Oh, no, I don't know. That's a good question. So ask him to get Carmen on your podcast too, and on mine. So, but all right, next one. This is the special election for Mike Sherrill's seat. Yeah. So that's in April. So make sure everyone remembers that.
Because there's a real progressive person up there that's leading.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So everyone remember out there, this is in April. It's not June. So we have to get out there. I mean, I can't vote there, but anyone in that district, get out there and vote. The next, and there's Greg Millet in 12. Greg Millet is a great guy. He's awesome. The Globe trashed him too.
Yeah, Joey Fox said he's never going to win that district. So, Greg, go out there and prove Joey Fox wrong.
So, Greg, if you're listening, I gave him the loser of the week last week because of that as well. So, you're welcome. But all right, guys. Thank you all for coming on again. As always, I really appreciate it. And so we'll sign off. And Donald, I wouldn't.
Yeah, Donald, you're like Donnie boy. You gotta go. It's time.
Just saying.
It's time.
Time for him to sign off.
No Kings in Camden. No Kings protest. Damon Galdo in the building. Third time's the charm. South Jersey, we done with the crown. Let's go. Yo, down in Camden where the block still scarred. No cross machine, got the city on lock. Playing God, tax credits to the family. Insiders get the bag while the real workers grind and the rent still drag. Donald Talk Union, waved the flag real proud, but his hands never bled, never swung, no hammer loud. Me, Damon Galdo, construction on my back, sweat in my boots, dirt under the nails. Facts. Philadelphia raised across the river, moved to West Deptford. Now it's time to deliver. Jersey Shore podcast in the cut. Third time running NJ1. I ain't giving up. They laugh at the outsider. Say I got no chance, but the machine been exposed. Time for the people stance. You can wear the jacket, flash the union pin, but we see the game, we ain't buying. Streets talk real, bars stay lit. South Jersey know it's time to flip the script. No king, no king. In Camden Town, South Jersey machine getting shut down. No, you ain't royalty. Damon Galdo coming for that seat. This our sovereignty. No king, no king. We break the chain. Machine run quiet, but we bring the pain. You can claim the trade, but the sweat ain't yours. Real worker rising. Damon Galdo roar. No king. South Jersey machine. Headline screen racketeering, waterfront deals in the dark. North Cross name ring like a king on the park. Brother pull string, same last name in the game. Dynasty politics, all the same. They say we saved Camden, ain't it all clean, but the block's still hungry. The truth in between. I'm the one who built it, hammer in my hand. Now some suited puppet with a family, playing from the Delaware Shore to the Philly line. Damon Galdo for Congress, it's our time. No more crowns, no more backroom kings. We the people rise and let the church bells ring. Protests in Camden, signs high, fists up. No king's banner, Damon got the people's trust. Working hands built this, blood, sweat, and tears. Damon in the fight, no more wasted years. No king, no king. In Camden Town, South Jersey machine getting shut down. Donald Norcross, you ain't royalty. Damon Galdo coming for that seat, this our sovereignty. No king, no king. We break the chain. Machine run quiet, but we bring the pain. You can claim the trade, but the sweat ain't yours. Real work. South Jersey machine. No king. Machine, running quiet behind the scenes. No king. But Damon Galdo woke the streets. No more kings in these New Jersey dreams. Donald, step back, the crown don't fit. Construction man coming bit by bit. No kings. Damon Galdo. No kings. In Camden Town, South Jersey machine getting shut down. Donald Norcross, your time is done. Damon Galdo for Congress, we the only ones. No kings. We break the chain, machine exposed, feel the flame. You can wear the jacket, claim the name, but the real sweat built this and Damon reclaim. No kings. South Jersey machine. No kings. South Jersey machine. No kings. South Jersey machine. Damon. No kings. 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 Damon Galdo, we the voice now. Protest strong. South Jersey, stand up.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.